Hey guys, happy Saturday. So I just wanted to come in and share my grocery haul from this week 2 post show, and then also share a little bit on some updates on my progress, on how I'm feeling, pretty much just a little bit of an update on how I'm doing post show, physically, mentally, emotionally, all those things. So originally I was gonna unpack all my groceries, but I was too hungry when I got home. So I already unpacked some of them. But for the most part, I'm just going to get things out of my bags and tell you guys what I got and why. So I'm just going to dive right in pretty much. So I got bananas. I absolutely love bananas. And as I tell you guys all the time, fruits are not evil. Carbs are not evil. They are a necessary part of a healthy diet. And being post-show, I actually have more than double of what I've been consuming, preparing for competition. So we're kind of coming onto the recovery phase of things. The goal is to gain a little bit of weight, so I've got more carbs available, meaning I am putting more fruits into my diet. So bananas are one of my favorites for that. I also bought strawberries and raspberries, but they're already in my fridge. I bought a cucumber, tomatoes, and some lettuce, and spinach and arugula. So this is my favorite combination for salads, which is what I've been eating for my lunches recently. Now, personally, I'm not somebody that likes salads, as I've shared with you guys before, but this is just eating a salad for lunch has just felt so freaking good for me. And I feel like it's really just helped me to stay on track, stay in the right mindset in regards to feeling good. When you fuel your body with healthy foods, you feel better. And that's really just my main focus for this week and moving into next is how you fuel is how you feel. And that salad has felt really good to me, so I'm going to continue with that. So like I said, my favorite combination is to buy these romaine hearts. You could chop these up, and I get these instead of the pre-cut lettuce because it's just cheaper and you actually get a lot more. So I get these romaine hearts. You could also use the lettuce leaves for burgers. So that's why I kind of get them, so that I have multiple options. And then the baby spinach and arugula combination. I get most of my groceries from Aldi's just as a precursor to this. Aldi's is my favorite grocery store ever. They've got so many options and it's so freaking cheap. So I'll always go to Aldi's first in regards to grocery shopping. And then if I've got other specialty items, I'll hit up Wegmans or maybe Walmart. Walmart isn't my favorite grocery store to go to just because different topic, different day, but I don't really support Walmart. So that is that. I got some egg whites, typical of my diet. Every single morning I eat eggs. I absolutely love eggs. So I'll do one whole egg with about 150 to 200 grams of egg whites. Makes a lot of eggs and a good amount of protein. Keeps me full, ready to go to start the day. And I also got some more canned pumpkin. I think I'm going to make some treats with this soon. Maybe not today. I'm not really sure what I even want to make with it, but canned pumpkin is only available for so long, so I wanted to snag it before it goes out of stock. Now this week I actually did open a can of pumpkin. Sometimes I put it in my oatmeal. I think this is super good. It kind of makes a pumpkin spice kind of oatmeal if you put it in with some cinnamon and a little bit of stevia. I think that's super good, so probably going to do that again. Sometimes I throw it into my protein shakes. Again, creating a pumpkin spice type of shake. Super good, super basic, I know, but it's fucking good, so I don't care. So I bought some canned pumpkin for all of that stuff. I also put some stevia with the canned pumpkin on its own in a little bowl the other day, and it literally tasted like pumpkin pie filling. It tasted like that. Super fucking addicting. So I had to be careful with that. But if I feel like doing that again, I might just do that. So it also kind of sparked the idea for me to make a pumpkin pie. I saw some gluten-free pie shells at the store that I could have probably done a pumpkin pie with, made it super macro-friendly and whatever, but I didn't, just because right now I still just don't trust myself with having a lot of food like that. Coming off of post show. I'm really trying to be careful about my portion sizes, really trying to be careful about putting things in my house that I'm going to be able to consume in a normal amount. So making, even if it's a healthier version of a pumpkin pie, making that for myself right now and actually only eating one piece at a time, I'm not super trustworthy in myself in doing that. So I left the pie crust on the shelf, but I got the pumpkin pie filling. Like I said, probably going to use this in my oatmeal and my shakes and stuff like that because I really like that. I also got some red onions for those salads. I like to slice those up and put those in my salad. And some carrots to munch on if I want to. Minced garlic. I ran out of my garlic this week, so I typically will throw minced garlic in with whatever I'm making for dinner. Typically I have like cooked vegetables for dinner, and one of my favorites is like mixing up asparagus with some sliced mushrooms and minced garlic. Literally that's it, and it tastes really fucking bomb. So that's why I got the garlic. And I got some chicken breasts, lots of chicken breast. That's gonna get me through the week. It's really not that expensive either. I got 2 of them just because I was worried that one wouldn't be enough. Usually I buy a huge pack of them, but they didn't have them available. So literally this pack was like $5. I bought 2. And it's gonna be more than enough to get me through the week. I slice these breasts in half because they're pretty big. I slice them in half and I will freeze whatever I don't feel like I need and have the rest available for the week. I'll chop it up. That way I can weigh it out, portion things for my salads at lunch, and then if I want chicken for dinner, it's already cooked, it's already available, we're good to go. So that's pretty much everything I got from Aldi's. And then from Wegmans, I got my rice cakes. Now, these were a little bit of fun items for me this week. I previously was buying just plain rice cakes, and then when I went to my first national show, they didn't have plain rice cakes available. So I had to venture out into this caramel rice cake world and never going back, really. No, I'm just kidding. I might go back. But these are really good. So I made sure I got some caramel rice cakes because those are like one of my new favorites. And then one of my other little treat things is going to be the chocolate rice cakes. I figured I would try these because I just really like chocolate, if I'm being completely honest. And lately I just like want chocolate. So I thought, hey, let me try these out. Now, honestly, in looking at the macros, I wish I would have looked at the macros while I was at the store, but I just kind of like impulsively was like, chocolate, you know, and I grabbed them and here we are. But comparing the rice cake options, these have 12 grams of carbs, which really isn't anything insane. But knowing that my plain rice cakes are 7 grams of carbs, I can have like 2 plain rice cakes for almost the same as one of these chocolate ones. So like in my head, I'm like, shit, I should have probably got the plain ones. But hindsight's 20/20. So we'll see how these go. If I really like them, maybe I'll kind of switch things up and, you know, during the week, next time I go shopping, maybe I'll get like the plain ones and these so that I could do like 2 plain ones plus a chocolate. I guess maybe it would be probably a compare and contrast from here on out, whether I want to get the caramel ones or whether I want to go with the chocolate ones. So we'll see how it goes. But one of my favorite things to do is to kind of make a cereal with them. I just really like rice cake cereal. So I'll crush these up and put my protein powder with some water and make milk and have cereal. It's really good and I really like it. So I thought with these chocolate ones it would make like a good alternative to like a Cocoa Puffs kind of cereal. And that just like, even just saying that sounds really fucking good to me. So like, I'm excited about that. So that's one of my little treat items for this week. And then I also got some peanut butter powder because I'm fucking obsessed with peanut butter, and having peanut butter powder, I like to put this in my shakes because when I put regular peanut butter in my shakes, it takes a lot more peanut butter to get that taste when it's actually peanut butter. But I find that using a peanut butter powder, you get that flavor more so than with the actual peanut butter, and you get more of the flavor for less, and also less fats than you would with peanut butter. So depending on where you're at with your macronutrients, with your nutrition goals, if you have more carbs available, the peanut butter powder might be a better option. If you have more fats available, you might want to use the peanut butter itself, because these are higher in, the peanut butter powder is higher in carbs than a regular peanut butter, and it's lower in fat than a regular peanut butter. So it really just kind of depends on where you're at, what your goals are, and how much of your macros you have left for the day. So thinking about that kind of stuff, also thinking about your likes, dislikes, where you're at with taste. If you want more of that peanut butter flavor, I really think that this is the way to go, because I prefer to eat my peanut butter by the spoonful. More on that later. So let's see what else we got. We got some mushrooms in here, because I mean, like, I never really ate mushrooms a lot, but I do now, as of like 2 years going strong with the mushrooms, because I have gluten intolerance, and one of those things that has been brought about by that, in a negative aspect, is nutrient deficiencies. So one of those is zinc. I have a zinc deficiency, and unfortunately, zinc is no longer available every time I go to the store. Why? Because zinc helps with your immune system, and being that COVID and coronavirus is so rampant, everybody is so freaked out about their immune health. Okay, so they're scooping up all this vitamin C and zinc, all this stuff. So people like me that are freaking deficient cannot get their vitamins anymore, which freaking sucks, let me tell you, because popping pills of zinc and vitamin C ain't gonna do shit for your immune system if you ain't doing the rest of the pieces of the puzzle. So, let me just cool my jets for a second, okay? So, long story short, I cannot get zinc in pill form anymore at the store, so I get it through food. That's one of the amazing things about nutrition, is nutrition can literally be medicine if you are utilizing it in the correct way, and this is an example of that, because this is how I get my zinc. This is how I fuel, or I guess heal my deficiency, is by getting enough zinc. Sometimes it's through food sources in dire situations like this. So I got some mushrooms, and I will cook those up with my asparagus, or cook them up with some of those red onions, and put them on a burger, whatever really I want to do. As long as maybe I'll cook them up and put them in eggs, but whatever. Case in point, I will be having mushrooms pretty much every day to meet my zinc requirements. That's really one of the main purposes of that. So next, let's see, we've got Quest bars. I got my favorite kind again. I got 2 this time because, well, they were out of the other bars that I really like, the Nugo Slim bars. They were out of those at the store when I went. Don't know why, but regardless, I went in with the plan of only getting a couple of these snack bars. I was kind of talking about last week how sometimes I get into a rut where I literally just don't even want to eat anything but protein bars and protein shakes. I don't know why I get like that sometimes, but that's like kind of like my current situation. So I found myself really like just utilizing these bars too much. So I only bought a couple this time. So my favorite kind is the peanut butter brownie smash for the Quest bars. And I got 2. So if I really, really, really feel like I want one, they're available, but there's not enough available so that in my head I could just like every single day be like, yeah, I want a bar. Yeah, I'm gonna have this bar. Like, and so that's hopefully going to help me in regards to like meeting my macros. So that's what I got with those. And then I got my typical emergency can of Cool Whip. My first week post show, I was like, nah, I don't need it. I don't need it, you know, and then now I'm like, I need it, okay, just because, you never know. This really is helpful for me just because, like, if I find myself, like, wanting ice cream or, like wanting sweets or like whatever it is, even if I make a protein milkshake, sometimes I just like a little extra. I like a little extra whip on the top. Like it's fun. It tastes good. So in like those times where I really want ice cream, if I can squirt this in my mouth, like I know that sounds so fucking stupid, but like literally if I really want ice cream, I will sometimes just fucking squirt this in my mouth and I'm good. Like whatever works, you know? So I got that for that purpose. because I'm not currently eating ice cream. Not that, you can't eat ice cream or ice cream's bad for you or any of those things, but I don't do very well with dairy. And this is actually a food group that my coach and I decided to cut out as we got deeper into prep, just because of the digestive issues that I suffer from when I consume dairy. I get bloated, I get gassy, the whole 9 yards, and I just don't feel well. So being that I've cut it out for so long, and now even though I am post-show, I'm transitioning out of that phase. When you go so long without a certain food, your body might have a difficult time digesting it. And this is something that I definitely discovered, especially in my first couple of days post-show. I had a couple days of, where I got milkshakes and ice cream cones and stuff like that, and that just did not go well. Also, last week I shared on the groceries that I got from last week. I got a Too Good yogurt, it's called. It's actually still in my fridge. Personally, I do love this yogurt. It's Too Good yogurt. It's literally got 2 grams of sugar in it, and it's high in protein. It's a great snack. I really love that yogurt. But like I said, being that I haven't had dairy in so long, it did not do well for me. My body didn't handle it very well. So like I said, it's literally still in the fridge, and I'm not currently eating ice cream or anything like that, so that is why the Reddi-wip is going to be coming in handy for those times. Also, my protein milkshake's super helpful for that. Almost every single night, even during prep, I make a protein milkshake. So I mix frozen banana chunks with protein powder, and if we want to dive into other groceries that I bought other than the store, I bought my favorite protein powder because I was actually getting lower on the supply than I thought I was. So I can show that to you guys right here. This is literally one of my new favorites. I discovered this at the first show that I went to. It's called Vegam protein powder. It's banana peanut butter. Fucking bomb. And I'm usually somebody that likes chocolate protein powders, but this is more of kind of a vanilla-ish flavor, and it goes so good with the peanut butter powder. So this, if you use my code, actually, you can get a discount on this. It's just Stacy10, and it's by American Made Nutrition. So if you go to American Made Nutrition's website and enter Stacy10 with this banana peanut butter protein powder, you can get a nice discount on that, and it's super good. It's literally 20 grams of protein, no carbs, no 3 grams of fats, no artificial sweeteners, which is super great. So that's one of my current favorite protein powders, especially when I was deep into prep. It was super great because it didn't have a lot of carbs in it. So I'll mix that with my bananas and make a protein milkshake, and it's that simple. It's so freaking good. So that's one of the things that I got as well. I restocked on that. And then I got a plain Greek yogurt. Now, I only got one of these, and I know you're probably just like, girl, you just said you got issues with dairy. Why are you buying more dairy? Okay, so my reasoning. I am going out for pizza tonight with my dad, which I'm super excited about. We've been planning this for literally weeks. We're going to go and celebrate some of my recent accomplishments in regards to my nursing career, and I'm just super excited. I'm super excited to spend time with my dad, more so than I am excited about the pizza. And I think that's something that's really important to kind of think about and recognize in regards to going out to eat, in regards to really just eating in general, because eating is a part of life, and eating is a very social thing too. But sometimes we get so fixated on the act of eating, or what we're eating, or that we're gonna stuff our face and stuff like that. And it's if you could think about it in the fact that you're literally going to spend time with other people, or thinking about and enjoying the company that you keep, as opposed to the food. I find this very helpful in regards to making healthy choices, and just kind of thinking about what really matters. So that being said, I am going out for pizza tonight with my dad. Super excited about that. And I've already planned everything out in advance. And so part of that is I like ranch or blue cheese with my pizza. But if I want to have the pizza, it raises my carbs and my fats to the point where it's difficult for me to put other things in my day, while still staying on track. And in any other sense, like, yeah, like you can have days where you go over on your macros or like whatever, but being post show, I really, like I said, I'm trying to be intentional about what I'm putting into my body, how much I'm eating, and adhering to my coach's plans for me heading into a healthy post show transition, which is something that's very difficult. So I have already put in my pizza into my food log. I know that I'm going to have X amount of slices. I know what is going on for the rest of my day. I've already had my breakfast, my lunch, all the things. So instead of choosing pizza and ranch and blue cheese and chicken wings, whatever, what I've done is I've logged the amount of pizza that I want to have, and I got this Greek yogurt because I'm going to make my own ranch dressing to use with the pizza in a healthier way. So it's going to have some protein in it. Yes, it's going to have dairy, but the pizza's already got dairy on it anyways with the cheese. And it's kind of like that give and take situation. Yes, I know I'm going to have a little bit of digestive discomfort. I'll probably get bloated from the cheese that I'm having from this pizza, but it's important to me because I'm doing something with my dad. It's that social aspect. Like I've already established this and I can deal with it. So that's kind of like my take on that. So I'm going to be having the pizza. And then I'm going to have like a tablespoon of this Greek yogurt mixed with some of one of my seasonings that I've got from Flavor God. And it's a ranch seasoning. So I'm literally just going to put this ranch seasoning in some plain Greek yogurt, and that's going to be my ranch. It's great. It's going to be lit. So that's my plan with that. And then in regards to like a substitute for the chicken wings, like I love chicken wings. But my first experience post show, I got really sick on chicken wings. So I don't want that to happen again. I want this to be a great day with my dad, and I want to enjoy the time that we're going to have together without experiencing any sort of like issues like that. So what I'm going to do instead is bring my own chicken breast. I'm going to chop it up and I'm going to put it in the air fryer, mix it around with some hot sauce, make my own little kind of like chicken bites to have with my pizza. This will also be a really great plan for me because then it will help me to reach my protein requirements for the day and help keep me full while I'm eating the pizza, so that I don't want to overdo it on the pizza that I'm eating. So moment of truth, I've logged the amount of pizza that I'm eating, and I said already for myself that I'm having 3 pieces. Now you're probably like, oh my god, like 3 pieces, or you might be like, oh, only 3 pieces. Like, what the fuck ever you think? Like, what? That's on you. But why I'm sharing this is because if I only said 2 pieces and I want to eat 3, I don't want to feel like super restricted or guilty if I do eat the 3rd. So what I did is I planned ahead for the possibility and likelihood that I will eat 3 pieces of this pizza, so that I already planned for it. It's already logged. I already knew that I was gonna do that. So if I do, no big deal. It's already been planned out. And if I don't, if I feel like I want to stop at 2 pieces, cool. I've got extra macros for the day. Maybe I can add some more bananas to my protein milkshake at the end of the day. Like, you know, like that way you've already planned ahead. This kind of concept can be applied, same thing when you go out to eat at restaurants with your friends, with your family, or if you're drinking. I find this super helpful in regards to tracking the alcohol that you're going to be consuming. So instead of, if you're going out and you know you're going to have some drinks with your friends, instead of saying, yeah, I'll only have 2, and you're somebody that knows that you never only have 2, why would you actually log? Why would you only plan for 2? Plan for 4 or 5 if that's appropriate for you. And then if you don't get all the way to 4 or 5, cool. You've already planned your whole day to have 4 or 5, so no big deal. Guilt be gone, you know. And if you don't have those 5 drinks, you've got some extra macros left over. Like it's cool, it's fine, it's great, right? It's better to plan for extra than it is to try to manipulate things like the day after to accommodate for what you've done that you didn't plan for, if that makes sense. So that's something I can talk about at another time. I can go further into depth on. But that was just my philosophy on planning my pizza ahead of time, and my reasoning for why I got this Greek yogurt to make my ranch dressing. So next, I bought 1 package of M&Ms. Now, It's like Halloween time, so there's a lot of fun size packets available. My original thought was to buy 4 fun size packages of M&Ms, but unfortunately the candy section didn't have individual packages of M&Ms this time. Cool, okay. So they had like Sour Patch Kids, Snickers bars, all this other stuff, but I really wanted M&Ms. I said I was gonna get M&Ms, so I took this as a sign not to get those, because the only other option was like a big bag of like 250 fun size M&Ms. Now, I know damn well I'm not handing out candy to no kids this year, or I don't even know when. Never really actually have. So all of those candies would literally be for me. There is no reason for me to have 250 mini bags of M&Ms, because the likelihood of me only having one bag in a day, if I've got 250 available, is very slim. So I took it as a sign to not get those. So what I did instead, I was at the checkout line, I put all my groceries on a little conveyor belt already, and lo and behold, these little guys were like, hey, you forgot about me. So I got one. That way I can split it up into 2 servings if I want, or I can have the whole serving, because luckily the nutrition facts are for 1 full package. Or I can divide it up. I during prep, during some of my refeeds, I would buy a package of M&Ms, and I would have like half a pack with my protein milkshake or whatever. So at least I've got 1 pack. If I really feel like I want it, it's available. That's a really big thing for me, is having it available still if I need it. Like the same philosophy of the emergency factor of the Ready Whip, okay? Because that way I can decide, do I really need this? If it's not in my house, like, yes, it helps me to not consume it, but for certain things, if it's not in my house at all, it makes me feel just so restrictive. So I that's why I bought at least 1. That's why I bought only 2 of these Quest bars, just so that if I need it, it's there. But if I make that choice in my head, like, okay, like, do I really want this, or do I want to save it for another day? I can do that. Just kind of sharing a little bit more of the philosophies and things that I go through in my head when buying certain groceries, when buying certain foods, in order to stay on track with my goals. So lastly, actually not lastly, one other thing. These Cheerios, okay, pumpkin spice Cheerios, are you kidding? I saw these and I was like, I gotta try them. Okay, not even trying to be basic, but I just wanted to try it, cause like, happy fall, y'all. But I tried these, I had them for lunch, they weren't the best, unfortunately. That's my review on them. They're okay. I wish I could probably return them, but I guess if I'm being honest, they're just like kind of not worth it to me. I prefer making my rice cake cereal over these, actually. But I mean, it is what it is. I've got them now, so I think my plan for these, I feel like it's a little bit dangerous to have a whole box that I could easily reach my hand into. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to portion these out into serving sizes of about 20 grams of carbs a piece. So on the box it says 1 cup is like 30 grams of carbs. So I'll just do a little bit of division. It ended up being 0.7 of a cup. So what you do is you just take 36 grams and times that by 0.7 and get like the amount of grams that would be in a serving to create the 20 grams of carbs. That's pretty much how I've done that. So my plan is to just kind of like, I'm just going to weigh out bags of 20 gram servings of this stuff, so that if I want it, I've got it. If I don't, at least I won't be able to just like stick my hand in it and be victimized by cereal. And then lastly, okay, I got some peanut butter. Okay, now why I saved these for last to talk about, because I love peanut butter, but I've had a real problem with peanut butter this week. As part of my review, as part of my update on post show, peanut butter has been like my most difficult food item this week. I shared with you guys last week that my dad got me 4 jars of my favorite peanut butter, and I haven't had a jar of peanut butter in this house in months. I have done individual serving packs, not of this kind, of a brand called Barney Butter, and it's actually an almond butter. That's how I've been like fiending my peanut butter addiction for the last couple of months for contest prep. But now that my dad got me this peanut butter, right, it's my favorite peanut butter ever, and I will be totally honest, I have plowed through that shit. Literally, I plowed through it. Almost all of my fat macros for the past week have been from peanut butter. I am pretty sure I'm about to polish off the third jar. Like, literally, there's like maybe a tablespoon left in the third jar, and I'm like, this has got to stop. So, unfortunately, I just can't trust myself with peanut butter yet. And that sounds a little bit stupid, or maybe a little bit crazy, but it's just not working for me. So that being said, I went back to the whole philosophy of individualized portions, and this is actually peanut butter. So I got Justin's brand of classic peanut butter. Now, yes, it's a little bit more expensive to buy these packages instead of buying a jar, but I don't trust myself with the jar right now, like I shared. So I just gotta take it back to what I know, and I'm just gonna go with these packets. These are 2 tablespoon packages instead of the 1 tablespoon like I was typically consuming. So that I feel like is good because it'll give me a little bit more of mental freedom in regards to knowing that I'm getting 2 tablespoons instead of just 1. Also, the fact that it is peanut butter instead of almond butter. And unfortunately, it's not my favorite brand. Justin's isn't my favorite brand. I prefer, once again, nut butter, but at the store, they didn't have those available. So I'm maybe going to be looking into buying them online. We'll see where we go from there. But hopefully having these packets available will just be helpful for me this week, and in adhering to my plans. So other than that, I had pretty much every other grocery item that I would need at my house already. I mean, I've got chicken thighs in my freezer. I've got beef, pork, pretty much everything else. I can't even honestly think of anything else that I would have needed at the store. But I spent less than $100 this week on my groceries, which was really great. And especially in regards to adhering to my plans, not even just for post-show, but like in general. I use finances a lot for choosing what I'm getting at the store. And that was one of my plans heading into post-show, is to use a financial goal to avoid buying a lot of extra items or different things, maybe things that I didn't put on my list. I love grocery shopping. I love exploring new foods that I see in the grocery store that might be healthy and might be tasty or available to make a tasty treat for myself. But a lot of these items can get pretty pricey. When you venture away from like the whole foods that are healthy, it gets a little bit of expensive. So I found myself looking at the grocery store, seeing a lot of these items and just looking at the price and being like, I'm not fucking buying that for that amount of money. I don't even remember specifically some of the things that I was looking at, but I'm just like, I'm not paying fucking $5 for a single serving of like this thing that I don't even know if I'll like or not. So that was really something that helped me at the grocery store today, is the finances aspect of things. So lastly, I just wanted to share a little bit of an update on where I'm at post-show currently. I guess starting off with my mental factor, I noticed today that going to the grocery store didn't feel as difficult this week as it did last week, or weeks prior. I didn't feel the need to start dumping like all this shit in my cart that I maybe haven't had in a while, or I didn't find myself really stopping and like looking at maybe a package of Swiss rolls and being like, oh my god, I haven't had these in so long, like maybe I could just get these. Like, no, I mean, I honestly, I really didn't find myself doing that very often, like at all, except the end of the grocery trip. I found myself looking more into some of those items that might be healthier, and a little bit more fun, that I could maybe make different recipes with and start experimenting and stuff like that. And then I got to the point, I'm just like, you gotta go, because I was just getting hungry. I was thirsty. I had to pee. Like, so it was like I was getting so sidetracked. So that's really the only like thing that I found myself like, I guess, like stalling or struggling with at the store today. So that was kind of something that was cool, like mentally feeling like I felt more confident in going to the grocery store, because that's something that I love to do. And as I got deeper into prep, it kind of sucked that I didn't feel the same joy of going to the grocery store anymore. It was like I literally had to like have my list, get in, get out, not look at anything else, but like I felt a little bit more freedom with that today, which was kind of nice to experience. So that's one thing that I noticed changed. But also in regards to my mindset, I'm really just trying to stay focused on fueling my body with healthy foods. As you've probably noticed from the groceries that I just shared with you guys, like, there's a lot of healthy items here. There's not really a lot of things that are binge worthy, so to speak, or something that I'm really gonna like find myself overdoing it on. Like I shared, like I bought one package of M&Ms. Like if I end up eating the whole package in one sitting, like it's nothing that's gonna fucking kill me. And then also hopefully that's gonna be something that's gonna help with this peanut butter, because like I said, I mean I really overdid it on the peanut butter last week. And most of my fat macros were coming from peanut butter only. So that's something that hopefully will be improving this week. Also in regards to my mental factor of my body image, I'm really just trying to accept my body as it changes. I'm already like, it's like up and down. Some days I'm like feeling like super confident. Other days I'm like feeling like shit, like about my body, and that's just me being totally honest. And what I've noticed is the days that I feel good are days that I really stuck with my macros, days that I hit my plans for my proteins, carbs, and fats, and I didn't eat dairy, things like that. And those are the days that I'm not experiencing any sort of bloating or discomfort or irregularity, all of those things. Like you should see some of the photos that I've taken, like of myself, like after days like that, days that I've overdone it on my macros, days that I've eaten dairy, my stomach really puffs up. I feel so uncomfortably full by the time I go to bed, and it's just like a recipe for disaster, really. And it carries out into the next day, because then my mindset is so negative about what my body looks like. And so those are things that I'm really trying to avoid moving forward. And then when I have good days, like today is one of the best days that I've had thus far, I feel like. I hit my macros yesterday. I did a really good job with that. I worked out this morning, you know, all the things. And I just feel good today. So those are things that I'm really just trying to focus on. I'm already 5 pounds above my previous stage weight, which was actually my goal for the entire month of September, the entire month post show. So that being said, I feel like I've put on weight quicker than I was expecting, and I didn't have any episodes of like binge eating. And this is something that I feel like I've really been in the comparison game with a lot of other competitors that I see, that maybe are only up 1 pound above stage weight or 2 pounds above stage weight, and they're like 3-4 weeks out, or like 4 weeks after stage, and then I'm sitting here 1 week after stage and I'm 5 pounds up, and I'm just like, why is that not me? So that's the reason why I wanted to share this, is for maybe another competitor out there that's maybe feeling that same way or feeling frustrated in their own same way. But I understand that when your body is in a deficit for so long, your hormonal responses are different. You know, you're going to put on body fat quickly, and differently than previously. So even if you haven't done any sort of like excessive binging or anything like that, it's still normal that you're going to be putting on body fat fairly quickly. So I'm just trying to accept that and understand that, and to kind of put the blinders on to other people's journeys, to other people's post-show experience, to other people's everything. Because what you see isn't always what you get. What somebody else is sharing or not sharing isn't always what is going on with that person, and it certainly isn't parallel to what's going on in your life. So you can't get caught up in that comparison game and beating yourself up for those sorts of things. So that's really where I'm trying to be right now. Like I said, I'm 5 pounds above my previous stage weight, and I'm heading into the second week post-show. My plan is to maintain where I'm at right now, and it's actually been super great because, like I shared, with keeping things simple still, really focusing on hitting my macros, making sure I'm still lifting, and hitting my cardio goals, doing all of those things, and avoiding the dairy, avoiding those foods that maybe don't make me feel the best. In doing that, I've actually been able to bring my weight down a little bit from where it was initially. I was in especially like in the I guess the circumference of my weight. And when I say circumference, it's because I literally felt like a fucking cylinder when I would eat those, eat dairy or eat it in excessive amounts, especially later at night. Was causing a lot of issues for me. So what I'm really just trying to do is veer away from that, really just try to keep as adherent as I can to my plans and foods that I know make me feel good. So that's pretty much my plans moving forward. And along with those 5 pounds that I've gained, like I said, I mean, like, we get so wrapped up in like, oh my God, like 5 pounds. But like literally, like, I've gone out on a boat with my friends. Like, I've had some drinks. I got pizza with them, you know, last week. I'm gonna have pizza with my dad today. You know, like, there's so much more about, like, you know, the weight that you're gaining. Like, what about the things that you're doing, you know? And 5 pounds, it's not like, as long as you're not going off the deep end with your diet, or, you know, finding yourself ravenously eating at night, like, those are things you definitely want to be reaching out to your coach about as soon as they're happening. So my main focus really is just maintenance right now. And maintenance is very difficult too. So my plan is to just adhere with these plans. And along with that 5 pounds, I have already put on an inch to my ass. Like, literally, I felt like that moment on Freaky Friday when Lindsay Lohan, she like grabs her butt and she's like, that's definitely not mine. Well, there was a moment in prep where I was getting really close to show, and I grabbed my ass and I was like, is that mine? Because it was so much smaller than what I'm used to. I was like, what the fuck? And so, like, now that's like one of the things that I'm like kind of looking forward to and kind of setting it as a goal for myself is to like get back some booty gains, get it in the right way. And like I said, I mean, I've already put an inch onto my ass, and I'm a week post show. So is that inch muscle mass? Probably not. It's probably fat mass. I'm not naive enough to think that I've been lifting heavy enough this past week to add an inch to my ass in a week. So maybe most of it is fat mass, but I don't really care. Like I said, that's really just kind of what I'm like focusing on right now is like my body image aspect of things too, is accepting the way my body is changing. And just kind of like, I don't know, I'm just kind of digging it. To be honest, I actually was like pretty fearful of post show at first, but like heading into week 2, I mean, I feel like I've done really well my first week post show. I haven't really had any episodes of binging aside from the difficulties that I've had with peanut butter. I don't think I've really would consider that binging on peanut butter. Maybe just like losing control a little bit. But I've tried really hard to adhere to my plans as much as possible, and I feel like having all these healthy foods available is super helpful, and just trying to accept my body as much as I can as it's changing. One of the cool things about it, one of the things that's really helped me in accepting it, is actually feeling like I look normal again in my clothes. Now, you may not understand this if you've never gone through a contest prep, but as you get deeper into prep, as you get closer to show, when you get real lean, you don't look normal anymore. You don't look, maybe you don't even look like good in your clothes. Like you just look unhealthy in a way. And I don't think I really even saw it that much until I did get super, super close to show, and like I would put normal clothes on. Maybe I had an event to go to with my like friends or family, or I wanted to wear something nice, something other than gym clothes or scrubs. And I just didn't feel like I looked healthy. I would look in the mirror and be like, I look like I want to kick somebody's ass, and I'm literally in jeans and a tank top, like, you know, and I wanted to look like or feel pretty, if that makes sense. So like now that I've like gained 5 pounds, and I'm just kind of looking at myself, trying to accept the way that my body is changing as I go through this recovery phase post show. And I feel pretty good. I haven't gained an excessive amount of weight so far. I feel like I'm doing this well. And like I said, I feel like I look better. I feel like I look good in my clothes, I guess, at this point. And that's just kind of going to be one of my focuses going forward, is really just trying to maintain a positive body image. Like I said, some days are better than others. Those days that I'm eating excessively, or like a lot of foods at night, days that I'm eating dairy and blowing up from just being bloated and digestive discomfort, like those are not very good days for me. Those are not good days that I'm having in regards to my confidence in my body image either. So thinking about all that stuff is really helpful in adhering to my plans for post show. So that's what I wanted to share with you guys. That's where I'm at. And my goals for this week are to adhere to my plans, to continue adhering to my plans in regards to my lifts, my cardio, my nutrition. And then also some of my goals for this week are, what was it? Oh, yeah. To try to get back to lifting heavier. This past week, I've kind of done a little bit of a deload. I've eased my way into my next set of workouts with my coach, our next plans. I've been doing the lifts that she wants me to do, but also adding in some fun moves that I enjoy. Really just getting back to basics, doing things that feel good for me, and really just trying to fuel my body with enough nutrients to recover. I feel like I wasn't at enough of a place where I could really lift heavy this past week. So moving forward into this week, I really want to see if I could start pushing myself just a little bit more, really making sure that I'm avoiding any risk for injury, but also pushing myself, because that's one of like the things that I've got in my head about this recovery phase. If I'm gonna push food, I'm gonna push weights. So as I'm eating more food, which isn't always easy, as I continue to push food, I want to make sure I'm pushing weights, because a lot of times we confuse this a little bit. People think that if you're eating more food, you're automatically just going to be gaining more muscle mass or creating more muscle mass, and it's not the case. If you're eating more food, that means that you have more food available, more fuel for adequate recovery, which allows you to heal your muscles. However, if you're not pushing enough weights, straining your muscles enough, causing them to tear where they need to be repaired, they need that extra fuel to be repaired. If you're not causing enough stress on those muscles, the extra fuel you're putting into your body, it ain't gonna add any extra muscle mass. It doesn't work like that. So that's kind of like my mindset. Your mindset is a very powerful tool. So one of the things that I've just got kind of in my head is, if I'm gonna push food, I'm gonna push weights. Because I don't want to just gain a bunch of fat mass. If I'm gaining weight, I want a lot of it to be muscle mass in order to make those improvements that I've got to make in the off season to come back for a successful season, my next season of bikini competition. So that's what I want to share. That's where I'm at. That's kind of my philosophies and mindsets on a few things. Hopefully you can apply some of these tips to your grocery haul this week. Some of the foods maybe you can include on your list. And I hope this was helpful. And I hope this maybe my perspective and my reviews, my updates were maybe helpful to another competitor out there that might be struggling post-show, or might be kind of confused or conflicted, or comparing your journey to somebody else's highlight reel that you're seeing out there in the world of social media. So hopefully this was helpful, and I will be sharing again next week my grocery haul, more updates, and how I'm feeling. So yeah, talk to you guys soon. XOXO.